the continuing debate that has been happening across bars all over Reno.
You look really sure of yourself, Jonathan.
Soups and sauces. I still currently believe that there should be a distinction between the two. You got to blur the lines.
I think it's viscosity.
But then you run into things like au jus, which is a dipping sauce.
It's basically a stock.
Look at miso. Look at miso. I had miso yesterday. Miso is the same consistency as au jus, so I get what you're saying.
Brown water. Its consistency is brown water.
Miso is a soup. Au jus is the dipping sauce. But let's say you toss like a fucking onion in au jus, it's gonna be just like fucking shitty French onion soup.
It's true.
You know?
It's true.
So, I think that I don't know. Because then you have like creamy, like a chowder, you know, and like that's like
you can chowder anything.
You can. I had
free flow chowder.
No, nothing. I got nothing. My dad makes corn chowder.
Okay.
You can chowder the corn.
I've had that before. Yeah.
That's all I got. I mean.
Yeah.
It's not funny. It's not anything. It's just my dad makes corn chowder sometimes.
I'm glad you brought up chowders.
Yeah, chowders are another in between.
Yeah, well, because I also didn't add them to my my evolutionary tree. I'm going deeper than what you guys are going to be talking about. You guys are debating like where the line is. I'm trying to find the common ancestor here. Because I feel like at some point soups and sauces were once the same, but then they deviated off on separate paths. And I'm just trying to like.
He's got a whole family tree of sauces and condiments.
Where they go.
He makes a very valid point. Okay, let's say you start off. Okay, we're talking like medieval times. Okay, fucking gruel. Actually, way older than gruel. Okay, so you have the stuff. You know, you're boiling stuff. And they drink the water off the meat that these fucking rich fuckers eat, right?
Yeah.
So they have that, but then they finally have some bread. Okay, so we have the soup. But then we have some bread and a few other things like, hey, we can put some of this soup on here. But hey, the soup's a bit too watery, so we thicken it up, and then that's how you make a sauce. You know what I'm saying?
So this is like divergent soup sauce theory.
I mean, that's not my theory. I'm just kind of going off the.
I'm still coming from a purely faith-based. Sauces and soups have only existed for 100 years. I've been looking at the same facts and figures of everyone else.
100 years? What? Were dinosaurs here in 1960?
The world's only existed for 5,000 years. Soups and sauces haven't been around that long.
For way longer than 100 years.
I don't know. There's no proof.
There was no evolution.
Yeah, show me in English where it says that.
It's part of the fossil record. It's dinosaur farts. It's oil now.
Yeah, exactly. Do you think they didn't have gravy in the 1800s?
I don't even know what that is. The 1800s or gravy. All I know is that I like sauce and soup.
Okay, back to the original argument was Alfredo sauce.
Alfredo sauce.
So Alfredo sauce versus being a soup. I tend to side with Bobby on this because yes, it's sauce. But
just because you picked the wrong side.
You fuck with it just a little bit. You put some peppers in it or something like that. And like it can pass off as an Italian soup. Like
no! Don't do this to me!
Oh man, is this a back stab on you? Is it a heel turn?
I refuse to let Alfredo sauce be soup.
Totally.
With few modifications, it can be a soup. You could very easily just put a bowl of that in front of somebody, and they'd be like, "Okay, this is kind of like a bad soup, but it's still a soup."
It could be a garlic chowder.
Garlic chowder. That's Alfredo sauce is garlic chowder.
That's it. I'm looking up an Alfredo sauce recipe right now, so that I can find the reason that it cannot be a soup. And I think it has to do.
You won't find it. If you're looking like in a difference of ingredients, it's going to be really, really hard.
Okay, here's where it is. Okay, it's a sauce because it doesn't have its own. It doesn't start with like a roux or anything or any baseline thing. It's heavy cream, it's butter, thickened by cheese, technically Parmesan cheese, but that's not a soup base. That's not a soup base.
When there's a thickening, there's
thickening would involve some sort of binding agent like a flour to make a roux or cornstarch.
You think you don't use flour in fucking stew, man?
You can, but you use the starch in potatoes or something.
Anytime you fuck stew, you use flour.
Yeah, exactly.
What?
He likes it. It's kind of like it's powdery and just kind of, I don't know. the thing. We really haven't been. We've been kind of on the rocks. I think.
I never wrote stew on this list either. So I gotta.
Stew is involved.
I feel like that either happened too fast or
But you see, it's like a gumbo. It's not saucy, you know. Like it is a watery base. It's a broth base, but it is a brick roux.
But it's a soup, though.
You start with a brick roux,
I eat it like
right?
a soup.
But
Exactly.
I just don't understand why you keep saying thickening.
So it's a very fine. It's a blurry line. It's a thin red line.
Why are you bringing Robin Thicke into this?
Yeah, the Robin Thicke defense, the blurred lines.
Exactly.
That's not acceptable.
I don't accept. The lines are not blurred.
Does that make me crazy?
That's a different song, I think.
Yeah.
What's
the reference there? Damn it. Like, shit.
I was thinking the song's crazy.
Yeah, like the Gnarls Barkley song.
Okay,
but like
CeeLo Green, whatever.
Like fucking. I might have just fucked my own argument. Hold on. Now I got to look up bechamel sauce.
What is?
Dude,
Go ahead.
I'm sorry.
One of the 4 sauces of French cooking.
It's the mother. It's one of the mother sauces. Correct.
Okay, that's what I want.
Now that is made with a roux by cooking the tablespoons of flour in the butter, and then you add the milk, and that's just a simple sauce. It's not a soup though. It's a mother sauce. Some things like.
Well, why is it a sauce? Because it has milk in it.
Garlic chowder is Alfredo sauce.
Garlic chowder. Yum yum
garlic chowder. Where the wind goes sweeping down the plain.
I feel like I feel like it's the I don't know. Maybe I messed up my own argument because the mother sauces all start with some sort of like roux or a straight up like juice, you know.
Okay, but really, okay, like I mean, let's say we're looking at like just a traditional like chicken and noodle, okay, thing like that. Okay, you have broth. You just boil the chicken. You have the broth that comes off of it. You put some vegetables. Let's say it's like some mirepoix, which is celery, carrots, onions. Okay, so you got that in there. You got your chicken, and then you put either dumplings or noodles in there. Okay, so you have like a broth. It's really thin. It's really whatever. That's soupy, and soupy tends to be more watery. But when you get towards like a let's say potato soup, okay, it's a little thicker, almost the same thickness as, let's say, a famous Italian sauce called Alfredo sauce. You could have like Italian potato soup that's basically just fucking Alfredo sauce and potatoes, and it'd be the same consistency as potato soup.
I refuse.
So you have cream soup and you have broth soup, and cream soup is so similar to Alfredo sauce that I think that I can't, I want to be on your side, but I think that Jonathan has a very good point.
It'd be like New England garlic chowder.
No, chowder is
New
not
England
made with
chowder, yeah.
No, that's too much. It's just cream, butter, and cheese. You can't just toss clams in there.
Yes, you can. You can toss a clam in anything.
A chowder is usually made.
I mean, what is a chowder if just more sauce than there are clams?
It's a blended soup. So you make all the ingredients and then you blend it all into one homogeneous chowder. You can have chunks in there, I guess.
Have you looked up Alfredo based soups? Because I'm pretty sure they exist.
I don't believe they exist.
Ew.
I don't believe in their existence, and this is what I think. That's what I think of that.
Just trying to find ways to work it in.
Let's see. Alfredo based soups. Noodles at Amazon.com.
Yeah, Alfredo-based soups.
Fettuccine Alfredo soup is a thing that exists. There's an Alfredo soup recipe right here. Okay, it's got garlic, onion, fucking loading. God damn it.
I refuse.
Okay.
That is just some dumb, bad white lady who couldn't cook fettuccine Alfredo properly, made it watery as fuck, and just told her dumbass husband, who's tired after work, sorry to be so heteronormative, other listeners that aren't men between the ages of 18 to 35, but she just fucked up making a sauce and was like, it's soup. Like when someone can't make macaroni and cheese correctly.
Dude, you can't just use the Karen defense every time you hear an interesting recipe, okay?
But I can, because I've ran into too many Karens in the Midwest. So like, I sprinkled ranch sauce on pork loin because I don't know how to season properly.
Yeah.
That's not a recipe. It's just called not knowing what salt and pepper is.
If Karen made soup, she made soup, okay? And it's a soup. It's Alfredo soup.
And since I know that you are of Midwest descent now, I also have to shit on tater tot hot dish because it is bullshit.
Hot dish? Tater tot hot dish.
I want what?
Who's there?
Tater tot hot.
Bobby.